You cheat?
Yeah.
Did you match that energy? We got another tit for tat. Doing a tit for tat. How did you feel?
I don't think I feel bad about it. Like even now.
I'll help you feel bad
back.
about it now. When a man cheats, in order for him to get a girl, he has to be valuable to some degree. He has to do something right to get the girl that he's cheating with, right? Because women just don't sleep with anybody. When a woman cheats, she did everything wrong. Everything wrong. Because a woman's value is tied to her sexuality. A man's value isn't tied to his sexuality at all. A man's value is tied to his ability to create, protecting and providing the value he brings to the world. Women tend to make permanent decisions off of temporary feelings, and that permanent decision decreased your value.
Okay, Just E here. Time to talk about another Just E philosophy. So I think I might start asking people to send me these videos so I can just start reacting to them. But this video was sent to me. And what I loved about this video is there are some truths and some complete fathomed false points of views. So here we go. First off, this whole concept of a person's value, okay? I think it's hilarious. I want everybody to recognize this is the only place, in my opinion, in this conversation where they are wrong. Okay, a lot of the stuff that they're saying has a lot of truth behind it, but it's because of one thing and one thing only, because they're cheaters. And both are wrong for cheating. It doesn't mean that a man can cheat and a woman can cheat. They're both wrong, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. Society is trying to get you to believe that somebody's value is in their sexuality or in what they can bring to the world and create and make as they speak on this podcast. But the reality is, your worth is in nothing but how you treat people and the connections you make with people. And this is where they're trying to mix up the concept of value, okay? If a man is looking at you like your value is in your sexuality, then he's not looking at you. He's looking at your past, he's looking at all the crap in between, but the reality is, your sexuality is what attracts them. I mean, think about it this way. They're sitting there liking your sexuality. They want that sexuality, right? That's why they're choosing you, right? If our worth is in our sexuality and you're choosing me off of my sexuality, where does that come from? That comes from having relationships with other people. So you want to judge a woman on her sexuality, but you don't want her to sleep with other people. Okay, so let's go into the next one. Same thing with a high-powered man. All you women out there that are so focused on things and money and what they can bring to the table, you guys don't pay attention to the emotional connection and how compatible you guys are. That should be the value. The value is, how much do you care about me? How much do you connect with me? How much do you communicate with me? All right, well, let's see. Once we add those up, we'll find some type of value there in that relationship. It has nothing to do with materialistic things like sexuality and who they had sex with and blah, 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 blah. And it has nothing to do with what they can bring to the table and what they can create and how much they can provide. The reality is, two healthy people in the world coming together, making a true bond, is healthier than any normal, as they like to split it up as, traditional or modern relationship. Most relationships aren't extreme versions of that. Most relationships are in between. And there's a little bit of modern aspect of it, like the woman going out and working, but then there's a little bit of traditional aspects where maybe the man is the main breadwinner and X, Y, and Z. But sometimes it's the other way around. The reality is, masculine and feminine energy has changed so much in our society, and I can't even say it's changed, it's just revealed itself because people are more comfortable to be themselves. That you can't have this like black and white view of this is how a woman is judged. And now, let me break it down to where they are correct, baby, where I agree with them. So, the reality is, they are right about a lot of what they're saying, and it's solely because of cheating. Now, where I don't agree with them at all is saying that one can cheat versus the other. I think it's hilarious when people do that to themselves, when they put it in their mind, like, oh, when a girl cheats, she does everything wrong. Oh, okay. Because, like, going out and finding a guy who treats me better than you is I did everything wrong. See, some could argue that maybe I did everything right when I go out and find a guy who treats me better than the one who maybe puts me down when I'm trying to open up to them, or maybe doesn't know how to communicate and instead just lashes out and gets aggressive, or just says unproductive things that doesn't help the conversation when you're sitting there. And the funny part is as they're sitting there saying, you know, a guy can cheat, blah, 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 blah. What they don't realize is because I don't agree with that. The whole concept at the end of making a bad decision that lowers your worth, the minute you decide to cheat because you think that you're a high-powered, valued man, just understand from a woman's standpoint of view, your worth goes down too, honey. Like, you guys apparently judge us on our sexuality. Well, if we judge you on what you can bring to the table, then you can't be loyal. Your worth just went down. So the idea that it's one and not the other is ridiculous, because the reality is it's about the cheater. If you value things, if you value materialistic, if you value abstinence, that's fine. If you value things like, some people's love language is money. It's spending money, gift giving. And that's okay. I want to point that out too. As I'm pointing this out, it's okay to have different love languages, different ways of speaking. But if you are with somebody who doesn't speak your love language and you use that as an excuse to cheat, you're the one that's wrong, period. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You are the one that's wrong. Please do not let society make you believe these things. Now, mind you, like I said, if you value things, if you value security more, if you value knowing that you have a roof over your head, which many women do, they have no problem with seeing their guys go out with another girl, as long as they come home to them. If you value having security, or maybe if you have a kid, you value giving them a good life more than this like monogamous relationship, cool, it's for you. Do it. But if that's not who you are, and this person is not ready to commit to just you, don't let them use the fact that they are valuable and high-powered to say that they're winning in some way and that it's okay for them. Because also recognize, too, that a guy getting a girl doesn't mean they did something right either. I mean, women are out there completely, like, low self-confidence. We are so confused on what's right and what's wrong. I'll even tag a video in the bottom that talks about this and about how, you know, it talks about how to understand, like, a guy cheating and, like, you know, why one would cheat and the type of personalities that would cheat. He actually breaks it down in a really, like, understandable way. And it also makes it so that it's like, you know, understand why a guy cheats. It's not personal. And understand that if a guy goes and meets some girl who has low self-esteem and is jumping on his bones because he's making them feel good in the moment, that doesn't mean he's going to treat him better than he treats you. That doesn't mean it's a win for him. I mean, I've seen guys go and try to grab a girl who's 20 times less attractive when it comes to that guy's actual wants and desires in a woman. Like, he's lowering his wants and desires in a woman to cheat, to feel strong, to feel X, Y, and Z. So to act like that's a win because you're settling for some other girl because the one that you want is not giving you it, that's not a win. So just always recognize that a guy getting a girl isn't always a win. It doesn't mean that they're doing something right all the time. It could mean that they're doing something wrong and they're settling for whatever comes through the door. Okay? So just remember, main lesson of my little rant is that cheating in general is never acceptable, whether it's a man or a woman. It does nothing different for anyone. For everybody, it lowers your worth equally. And one thing I completely agree with this, the end, is that you, not women, but men and women and everything in between, basically the human race, can easily act on emotion, make the wrong decision, and lower your value. That is a truth that we all need to come to terms with, because in the world of victimization, we tend to not want to take that truth. We tend to want to have everybody feel bad for us, and we want to, like, completely dismiss the victim who just got attacked due to your mental health and due to whatever you're playing, whatever card you're playing, you know? So that's just where I'm at. Like, recognize that unless you value things over the person, cheating is never acceptable. Never acceptable. Just the philosophy, baby. And if you guys are like this, let me know in the comments, drop it. And you know what? Honestly, if I get enough likes, I'm going to make a podcast. I've already been working on the works of it and stuff, but it's called Let's Talk. And I was going to make my first episode, What is a Woman? But if you guys want to do an episode on can a high power man cheat, let's do it. I would love to sit down with somebody who has their own opinions about it and really dive deep into their mindset of why they believe it's okay for a high-powered man to cheat, or any man to cheat, and vice versa, if it's okay for a woman to cheat, where their mindset comes from on thinking that that's okay. So, yeah, Just Eat Philosophy. Look out for Let's Talk.